Shalom. We are going now past the test. Post-test, the Adat Korach has been burnt. They've been fallen into a hole in the ground, and they have definitively shown that Moshe and Aaron are the leaders of the Jewish people. Now, what do we do next? As we discussed, Vadaber Hashem al Moshe lemor. Hashem said to Moshe, saying, let's see that Hashem is the one next to Vadaber. El Moshe, El means to. Moshe lemor, Meilmor means to say to somebody else. There's an instruction to say to somebody else now. Emor el Elazar ben Aaron HaKohen. Speak to Elazar, the son of Aaron, ben Aaron HaKohen, the Kohanim. Remember, the winners of that test. Vayarem et hamachtot mibnei hasreifa ve'et ha'esh. Remove the machatot. The machatot were the fire pans that were used in that test, where they put the incense. Between, amongst, the sreifa, the burnt remains, ve'esh, the fire. Zera hala'ah, spread the ashes, ki kadeshu, they became holy. We said that word yarem is remove, mibain is from amongst, misreifa, the burnt remains, zera hala'ah, from the ashes, they had to take them away because they were kadeshu, they became holy. Now, you just look at this word, it's not so clear. What became holy? Why did it become holy? Rashi comes in, and Rashi ki kadeshu, you should take a look at this, you should highlight this. Rashi, it'll come up again later when we look at it. Hamachtot, the machtot are what has become holy. Why did they become holy? What does that matter for us? They're v'asurin v'hana. They're not allowed to get benefit. Now, I know if something is not allowed to get benefit, it means it's probably either very, very, very bad or very, very, very good. This is talking about Kadeshu, became a holy. Must be it's very, very good. How did that happen? Shahare asaun kli sharet. They became a tool used in the Beit HaMikdash. It became holy. Once something is used for a korban, it becomes holy. And that is why we're going to do the next step with this. Now he says, continuing his instruction, Et machtot ha'chata'im ha'ela b'nafshotam. The machtot, the fire pans of these sinners, that with their soul sinned, meaning they died because of it. Machtot ha'chata'im, the word ha, when you have two nouns next to each other, and it has a hey at the middle of them, machtot ha'chata'im is like saying the machtot shel ha'chata'im. It's the same thing. It's called possessive. It belongs to the chata'im. This thing belongs to these people. What are you supposed to do with the machtot ha'chata'im? The machtot, the fire pans of the chata'im, the sinners. V'asu otam rikue pachim tzipui lemizbeach. You make them into hammered metal, meaning you hammer them down. They're made of copper and metal. A tzipui lemizbeach, a cover. Tzipui, for the mizbeach. Lamed can be either for, or it can mean to. Either one. Ki hikrivun lifnei Hashem v'yekdashu. They were used for a korban. They've been brought before Hashem as a korban. Let me see that word again. V'yakdashu. They became holy. Once something is used as a korban, it's holy. You have to use it for a holy purpose. Vayu la'ot livnei Yisrael. It's going to be a sign for the Jewish people. Now, this is taking something that became holy through that test, and it's not using it lemizbeach. It's going to be continuing to be holy. I think these, if you don't have them yet, the ha'chata'im, the sinners, b'nafshotam, that sinned with their souls, hikrivun, they were used as a korban, rikue pachim, the hammered sheets, tzipui lemizbeach, and la'ot, as a sign. Et ha'machtot ha'chata'im ha'ela b'nafshotam, the fire pans of the chata'im, ha'ela b'nafshotam, those that died with their souls, they sinned with their souls, meaning they died. V'asu otam rikue pachim tzipui lemizbeach. V'asu otam means make them. Asu is like make or did, do this. Rikue pachim, I'm not sure what that is. Oh, I look over here at my word bank. Whoop, hammered sheets. Tzipui lemizbeach, a cover for the mizbeach, the altar. Hi krivun lenifnei Hashem. They were used as a carbon before Hashem. V'yakadashu, I recognize that shoresh of kodesh. V'hayu la'ot b'nei Yisrael. It's going to be a sign for b'nei Yisrael. I'm taking something that came from the sin, and I now transforming it because of how it became close to Hashem and lifting it up. That itself is inspiring. But we're going to see something here that's really important for the story. It's really important for our understanding of who won the test. This was the instruction. Now that we have the instruction, we're going to see what Elazar does with the instruction. Vayikach Elazar HaKohen et hamachtot hanachoshet l'cher hikrivu hasurfim v'yarku'um tzipui lemizbeach. Vayikach, we've seen before, he took, almost mirroring that language of Korach. Vayikach Korach. Now Elazar is taking it. What's he taking? Vayikach Elazar HaKohen. This is the person doing it because it's next to that verb. What's he taking? Et hamachtot. He's taking the machtot. Hanachoshet. Now we're being told they're made of nachoshet. Nachoshet is copper. Asher hikrivun hasurfim, that were brought by the burnt ones. Burnt ones meaning the people that got burnt. V'yarku'um tzipui mizbeach. And he made that. What does this word raku'um mean? Now, it's not in your word bank. So how are you going to find that? We have to look back to a previous word. And that previous word is going to be over here. Riku'e pachim is hammered sheets. Pachim are the sheets. Riku'e means hammered. Well, what shoresh do we see here? I see the resh, I see the kuf, I see the ayin. Now I need to figure out what are they going to be. So I have the yud, he's doing it, and he's doing it to them. Mem at the beginning. So he took them, and he hammered them out as a tzipui the mizbeach, the cover for the mizbeach. He takes this, and he makes something that was used for sin into something that can be used for more mitzvot. Taking something that was used and really just doing shuvah, really elevating it. How can I use my mistakes for something holy? How can I learn from that? How can I grow? And he's doing it in one of two ways. Number one, it's literally going to be the mitzvot that we do on the Mizbeach from this Avera. The fact that they challenged Moshe, the fact that they do all these things, that is something that they're not using for mitzvot. It's beautiful. But he's doing it in a way that's going to serve as an oath. We didn't answer that yet. What is the oath? What is the sign? A sign is something that reminds us of something important. What is the sign this is going to be? What do you think the sign is? Be sure to take these down as well. Now, it's going to be a zikaron. What else is a zikaron? We have a lot of things in Judaism that are zikaronot, a reminder. This zikaron is going to be L'Bnei Yisrael, for the Jewish people, L'ma'an, for the sake of, so that, Asher lo yikarav ish zar, Asher lo mizera aron. Someone who is not going to yikrav. What's yikrav? You forget the shoresh, is kuf resh vav. They will not, yikrav means bring a korban. An ish zar, a non-Kohen. Well, what's that reinforcing? The test was to see who should be the leaders, who should be the people working in the Beit HaMikdash. Well, what was the outcome? Aaron HaKohen won. Now we're reminding, if you're not from Aaron HaKohen, you can do many things, and you can be very holy, and you can become close to Hashem, but working in the Beit HaMikdash, in the Mishkan, is not for you. If you're Asher lo mizera Aaron, if you're not from the descendants of Aaron, hu lahachtir ketoret. He's allowed to bring ketoret, the incense, lifnei Hashem, but not other people. That's step one. If you're not from the Kohanim, You don't get to work in the Beit HaMikdash. Remember that. Last time that was challenged, remember what happened? It was that fire went out and the ground opened up. V'lo yeh k'Korach v'ka'adaso. The other part is you should not be like Korach and his group. Kasher diber Hashem biyad Moshe lo. Just like Hashem has said. Where is this coming from? It's not coming from Moshe. It's not coming from Aaron. It's a reminder. Don't challenge the Navi. Don't challenge the person who's communicating for Hashem because it's coming from Hashem. Don't think, I know how to get closer to Hashem because I have this thought and this idea and that. No. Just listen to what Hashem is saying. Who is Hashem talking through? It's Biyad Moshe. It's in Moshe's hands. The communications of Moshe's hands. Moshe is the trustworthy one to do that. The Mizbeach is elevating that challenge. It's saying we're not going to be held back from the challenge. We're going to elevate it. We're going to grow from it. But remember, the Kohanim are the ones that are going to work in the Beit HaMikdash. And don't be lo yeh k'Korach v'ka'adato. Don't be like Korach and his assembly. It didn't work. They were punished ultimately. This is going to be the most challenging of the psukim. This is going to be the last set of words for these 5 psukim. We'll still use others in the next set, but this is going to be the most challenging one. I'm going to go through it one more time. Zikaron, this oath of the Rikui Achim, Tipuy the Mizbeach, are going to be a zikaron, a reminder. L'Bnei Yisrael, for the Bnei Yisrael. L'ma'an, so that, you have that. Asher lo yikrav, you don't have that, but you know that hikrivu means bring it before Hashem, bring as a korban before Hashem. So they should not, lo yikrav, they should not bring to Hashem, ish zar. This is tricky. This is the subject for lo yikrav. And ish zar, shelo yikrav. It's a little bit backwards from English. It's hard to do just word for word. Do not bring an ish zar. An ish zar should not bring. Asher lo mezera Aaron. What's an ish zar? What's a person who is literally foreign? Someone that's not from Zera of Aaron, a non-Kohen. What should they not bring? Lahaktir ketoret. Who lahaktir ketoret? Aaron is going to bring the ketoret. Lifnei Hashem. Other people won't. Additionally, on top of just not being able to bring the korbanot, we have an instruction now. V'lo yihye k'Korach v'ka'adato. Don't be like, ka is like, Korach. Don't be like Korach. Don't be like, ka is like, adato. Don't be like his assembly, his group. Kasher diber Hashem biyad Moshe. This is really bringing it down. This is the bottom line. What was the outcome of the test? The outcome of the test is that those that were really challenging Moshe, it didn't end well for them. They were sunk into the ground. They were burnt. Who was the one that's accepted as the leader? It's Aaron. Who is the one that's trusted to communicate what Hashem wants? It's Moshe. The Mizbeach is going to be a reminder, a zikaron, of that at all times. The tool they used to do the test, as if the memory wasn't enough, that's going to be the cover for the Mizbeach. That every time they bring korbanot, and every time someone brings a korban to the Beit HaMikdash and the Kohanim do it, it's a reminder of the Kohanim, Bezer Aaron, are the ones that won. How do we know all this? Because Diber Hashem biyad Moshe lo. Because Hashem spoke through Moshe. That is how we know. It seems pretty open and shut here. It seems pretty conclusive that Aaron and Moshe are the ones that are accepted. We're going to see that was still challenged yet again. The next set of psukim are going to be another challenge to their authority, another challenge to Hashem's authority. We'll see that next time.